semi-formal, but good morning. This is Charlotte Pierce. I'm the producer of Face the Book TV and the publisher at Pierce Press. We're running these live streams previewing our conference in collaboration with Independent Publishers of New England, where I also am involved. I'm involved with almost everything that comes across my desk, but we're here today with Emily Enger and I think it's called Good Enough Book Marketing is your company. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And Emily's going to be presenting at the conference, our annual conference in November 3rd and 4th. So what we're doing with these live streams is just previewing some of the not more enticing, but like some of the really relevant stuff. Like, I think everyone is really curious about book marketing, and curious is maybe an understatement. It's the biggest challenge, I think, for independent publishers. Would you agree, Emily?
I do, but I'm a little bit biased because this is what I do. So
I mean, that's why we picked you to come on to the conference, because this is a burning question for people. Yeah,
it's excuse me 1 second.
Sure.
I'm getting over a little bit of a cold here.
No worries. Yeah.
But no, I stumbled into book marketing a little bit by accident. I thought I was going to be a book editor, actually. But this was the burning question for a lot of people. And I had a background in marketing with other work that I had done. And so it kind of naturally evolved into this, because this is a question a lot of authors have because of the change in technology and the change in expectations of how the publishing world works and how being an independent publisher works. This piece is on you. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were talking before we came on a little bit about why this is so hard for people. I mean, you're writing a book, you can write, you get it done, and then this whole new world opens up. And
well, we all go into writing. There's this myth, especially in America, in the literary community, that we're going to have this experience like Thoreau, and we're going to go into a cabin and we're going to write and nobody's going to bother us. Like, there's not going to be kids in the background. There's not going to be like email buzzes, notifications buzzing on your computer. You just get to be creative and you get to live in your mind for like a year while you write your draft, and it's great. And the truth is that Thoreau didn't really have that either, quite not the way the myth works anyway, and we certainly don't. But I also think it's been a betrayal a little bit, because if a creative person has this mindset of like, this is my talent, this writing piece, the craft is what I am good at, there's this kind of expectation that you deserve the space to just be the writer for a moment.
I know. Yeah.
And that's not unfair. Like, that's a fair frustration. And so that's why I created what I call minimalist book marketing. Because you just can't get by in the 21st century doing nothing to self-promote. You really can't. And I want you to have success as an author, but I also want authors to find that balance, to put the craft first and to say, hey, I can turn off my email notifications.
Yeah, the balance is the thing.
But, you can do a few things. And how can we find that for each individual author, what that balance looks like?
Yeah. What do you see? I mean, without getting into giving away the store here, what do you see as the most successful technique that like an introspective author can take? I mean, besides, like, given that they may not have a lot of money to give $5,000 to a publicist or something,
right?
What do you see working for people like that?
So my favorite marketing strategy is still book promotional email lists. So you've probably heard of BookBub or Written Word Media. There's a lot of them. If you just Google book promotion email lists, there are companies that literally have just curated writers who are looking for ebooks that are good deals. And now to be chosen to be featured on their email list, you have to put your ebook for like super discounted. Like 99 cents would be great, up to like $2.99. And that is sometimes hard for authors to like do. Like, you want me to do what? But the returns of getting in front of that audience for authors I've worked with have been massive. I mean, some of them have landed bestseller lists.
Interesting.
This way.
But
and it's also
doesn't that cost a lot to like get on like a promotional?
So if you are going through a platform like BookBub is the biggest one, they're the most expensive, and it varies by genre. Depending on the genre you write, some genres to get listed are going to be quite expensive, but there's a lot of ones that are not BookBub that are kind of like second or third tier, and you guys, those get great returns too. What is happening when you are using these is you're targeting what we call warm leads. So that means that the people who learn about your book today because they open these email lists, they are people who they only open that email. They know who the email's from, right? They know it's from, say, BookBub or Written Word Media. They only open that email because they want to find a good deal on a book today. Otherwise, they wouldn't have opened it. So every person who sees your book listed on that list comes in wanting to buy a book. Yeah. And so you've already done half the battle of marketing. Without even having to try.
And do you like? I keep forgetting, or it's mostly because I'm in denial that I have to build my email list, my direct email list. Which is that something that you deal a lot with?
Yes. I think email lists can be wonderful things. Email lists are certainly, they have a better return than social media. I will say that. However, I've talked to a lot of writers lately. They're like, I cannot get anyone to sign up for my email list. And just like everybody, social media used to be the big thing, right? And then people got kind of fatigued. And so then email lists became like this magic bullet because you could email people directly. They were more likely to buy. They felt more like part of your club. But now people have signed up and subscribed for 1 million emails. I don't know about you, but I am on, like, I get so many emails every day. So now my inbox is also flooded. So it is getting harder and harder to get people onto your email list. That doesn't mean they don't still work. Of course they do, but I'm very sympathetic when people say like, oh, I just haven't grown my email list. Yeah, because it's hard to get people to sign up. The thing
they just get fed up. Like, I just cancel them all the time.
I do too. I mean, I'm in marketing, and every time I get one, I'm like, oh, unsubscribe. The thing you have to remember about email lists is they became popular, and they are what they are good at is selling. And so there's a lot of like people open them to get like discount coupons at like Starbucks or something, right? That's why you want to sign up for the Starbucks newsletters, because you're hoping to get $5 off, whatever your next order. And so the question is, how do you make newsletters work for you as an author? What do you say to that audience? And one of the things I always recommend is that remember that you're a creative writer. So what your audience wants from you is those beautiful words. And so maybe for you, you are
like a story or like an exclusive.
You're telling stories. You're writing an essay. Writers need to be writing even beyond the book that you're working on. You should be just writing. Do you just have thoughts about the beautiful world today that you could share that are insights? Because that would be something that I, as someone receiving your email, would want to open, because nobody else that I get an email from is doing that, right? Everybody else that I get an email from is like, here's a coupon, here's a sale. You're saying something beautiful that just kind of sets my morning right. I love that. And to me, that's what writers are, right? You are insightful people who see the beauty in the world. And
give
putting
them some...
that into your newsletter, I think, helps a lot. And then, of course, at the bottom of your newsletter, remind people about your books. But make the focus, just be an essay writer to some of your fans.
Put yourself in their head, receiving it. Yeah. Yes. And then also I see social media being used by people just kind of buy my book stuff. And I don't see them paying it forward, like going on other people's threads and, interacting. But I've been told that that's kind of a good way to just pay it forward, and then it comes
Absolutely. Back. I think the reason that authors don't pay it forward, that they post on their own page and they don't remember to post on their friends or other authors' pages is just because we're all too busy, right? It's
Yeah,
because that
yeah.
author, it took everything in them to post on their own page today. They don't
Yeah,
also want to go to their 5 friends and leave comments.
yeah,
Like
I
we're all
know, I
sick of
know,
being
I
on
know.
social media. We just are. And so it's hard. Social media has become a hard landscape because of
Yeah.
that.
It's just like you notice when, like, once in a while somebody comes on Pierce Press and says, I saw your comment on Oleg's site or something.
Mhm.
And it's just like keeping it bubbling along is
Yep.
what you
Well,
need to do.
consistency is has always been the
Yeah.
foundation of marketing, right?
Right,
It's
right.
so one of the biggest things that, authors I've worked with, this comes up all the time, is they get burnt out, they get fatigue, they stop doing
Mhm.
anything at all because, they're
Yeah.
tired. And so then I have to come back and be like, okay, like what can we do? Just some kind of a minimalist baseline that the ball won't get dropped, and you can always have something that you're working on to get visibility and to make sure your name stays out there without taking too much of your time, without overwhelming you. Because
Mhm.
fatigue and overwhelm and burnout are all real things. I never want to be like the marketer who's like, here, hustle, hustle, hustle. Like, no, you're a
Yeah.
creative person. You're supposed to be reflective. You're supposed to be internalizing, like we don't want to burn you out. We want to acknowledge and avoid that for you. But we
Yeah.
also want you to have a career, which means your books have to.
Yeah, the balance that, I'm old enough to have learned that, but I don't know if I really have. But just taking care of yourself. I
Mhm.
notice when I've been doing social media all morning or something, and then I think I look outside and there's this wonderful little, this wonderful sunny day, and I don't know where you are, but I'm in New England. It's like
I'm in
5
Minnesota. Yeah.
Minnesota.
It's
Yeah,
a
is it not?
beautiful fall morning.
Is
It's
it?
chilly,
Yes.
but not super cold, and it's just lovely. I went for a walk
Same
this
here.
morning.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and we've had rain. Like yesterday, it was
Oh,
just like dumping rain, and it's like a miracle now. So I went out for a walk with my dog, and it just cleared my head. I was like, I felt my anxiety level just lifting away.
my husband is working right now. Yeah, he's gone. He'll be gone for about a week on this project. He's building something. He's a woodworker, and where he's
Mhm.
building this thing is there's no internet. There's hardly any cell reception. So he's lucky to be able to call me every couple days. He has this one spot he can find, and he told me,
Yeah.
he's like, I'm a little freaked out. He's like, because I feel so good right now. And he's like, I can't check my
I
phone.
know.
I can't check social media. He's like, I literally feel healthier. Like my body feels healthier. The
Yeah.
colors of the world look different.
Right.
And like yeah, kind of, it is scary to think about. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I've taken to doing the dog walking without my phone, which
Yep.
is kind of radical for me, but
You got to do
crazy.
that. And then,
Yeah.
that's why, like, to bring it back to marketing, like authors do not have to use social media to market their books. You can, and it's been very successful for
Mhm.
some authors. So I never deny that. But
Yeah.
for those of us who are like, for my mental health, I have to be careful here. You can
Yeah.
either use it minimally or just don't use it at all. Use your newsletter, use
Yeah.
the book promotional email lists that I talk about.
Because
Do
you'll
some
be better
spending
at
on
that. Yeah.
ads. You can do some Amazon ads or
Mm.
ads on other platforms that sell books.
Yeah.
Partner with your local bookstore. Remember in-person bookstores, you guys? Like we need let's bring some of
I
that
know.
stuff
Go
back.
hang out and just say what works. What works to sell books in your
Yes.
bookstore.
Do you know your local librarian? Have you done
Yeah.
an event
Yeah.
at your library? Have you done multiple events?
Right.
Most libraries I know will bring an author back almost every year. You can have a recurring opportunities there. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be social media, which takes, pieces of your time every single day.
Yeah. We have like we do for independent publishers of New England. We do these cooperative book exhibits. So we have one
Awesome.
coming up. Yeah, this weekend, and people can buy. Members can buy a spot on the table, and they come, and we have so much fun.
Yes.
And we go to Boston Book Festival and New England Library Association.
Yeah.
Librarians love us because we have those,
Mhm.
cool sort of niche regional books that they like to have in their libraries. And, it's a great way to just connect with people. So,
Yes, and it also, writing is such a solitary endeavor, and people have talked about this a lot, right? It's
yeah,
we need community because we aren't good at creating it because our career doesn't need it necessarily, at
yeah,
least not
yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
writing portion of it. And so I'm always reminding people that, the marketing piece, that's part of your community building piece. And even
Yeah,
and that's what networking is. And that's what this event coming up is, right?
yeah,
The event that you guys have, like you guys, this is an opportunity to network, to just meet other people, to get out of your writing office and,
yeah. And
say
connect with
hi
your
to people,
readers,
even if it's
learn
through
who
a
your
computer
readers,
screen.
yeah, yeah, learn who your readers are, because they
Yes.
come by and they say, oh, I'm interested in,
Mhm.
grief, you know, grief processing or something. And we have an author who's got a book about that,
Yeah.
come to Town Day. So, anything else we should cover? And, I know you'll have a great presentation. I can tell from our
Well,
discussion here.
good.
But anything else you want to just mention about your appearance at the conference?
I
Or
think just so my talk is going to be called Minimalist Marketing That Grows Your Author Career. And so we're going to go over, what marketing is, what the foundations are, even
okay,
outside of books, just what marketing is from a business standpoint, and then kind of bringing it into books. And I'm going to list everything you can imagine that I know authors have tried for marketing, and
yeah,
then you, the person attending, the author, can kind of think about the options on the table and what makes sense for you and what would work for you. And I talk about kind of the balance and the strategy of how really it boils down to just a couple of steps and not a whole bunch of steps. So,
right. Well, that's awesome. And maybe if you approve, we'll put your presentation on our IPNE Academy, which is a members only Scott channel. Our
I would love that. Absolutely.
yeah. Let me
Wherever
just
it works for you.
I'll flash it up here. Yeah, so we have, this podcast and live stream series, and then if people agree, we put up their presentation.
Oh,
We had
cool.
one with Jennifer Thompson is an amazing marketing person. Do you know her?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's actually Jeniffer
Okay.
Thompson. Yeah, so I'll send you her contact
I would
info.
love that.
She's
Awesome.
so generous, just like you. It's just it comes back to her because she's very successful in that way. So, well, listen, let's to be continued in November,
Yeah,
and please keep in touch. If you'd like to use this recording in your,
I will
you
for
know,
sure. I'll share it
I'll
all the places that I am. So
great. I'll share it with you, the MP4 file. So thank you so much. This
absolutely.
is
I'm looking forward to the conference. So
it's awesome. We are every year it gets better and better, and there's a lot of info, but it's pretty well organized.
that
So
happens with conferences, but that's great. That's why you go to them, right?
yes, exactly. Well, Emily, thank you, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you so
Thank
much as
you.
well. Have a great
Right.
day.
This is Face the Book TV signing off.